Next is HL3 and HL3 imported. Once again, that means that Half-Life 3 has been in development for so long now, it had to be imported from the Source engine into the Source 2 engine. And all of that information to me is incredible. Newell later does an interview in August stating that Episode 3 has gone through many experiments and techniques during its development, and later states that he has nothing to show, but promises once he has material to show the public, he will show the public. Valve has seemed to have shifted their focus from making game-changing experience to making market-changing services, and that's what current Valve games are. Services. So once again, whether or not they're actually going to be having people pay for mods in the future in some shape or form is unknown, but it is great to hear that Valve is completely listening to the community, and it is great to be able to hear that maybe people will view Valve in a better light than they have over the last couple of days. Will it be Half-Life? Will it be another multiplayer game, or will it be something completely out of left field? There is actually evidence pointing towards pretty much every single Valve IP getting some kind of new game in the future. However, it doesn't really seem like Valve is that focused on making games. So why don't we go through all the different evidence pieces regarding future games and every reason why Valve would want to make one of these. The short term, Valve will probably be focusing on updating many of their multiplayer games, like Counter-Strike. So Valve just straight up screwing Half-Life 3 because they think that gaming isn't an art anymore, gaming is a service, is not completely true. And to be honest, the No doesn't really completely understand Valve and why people completely love them. Valve needs people to love them, and they know it. So yes, Half-Life 3 will be released, and that's why. Keep in mind, a lot of what I said is speculation based off of the different entities seen, based on these new FGD type files that was maybe leaked or maybe intentionally put into Dota 2. But just remember, by all accounts, even for those that think the game will never come out, the next Half-Life game has been developed as soon as Episode 2 wrapped up and the orange box was released. Ever since then, people have been working on the game in some regards. We've had concept art leak and massive amount of references in in-game files since 2007. Mark has only now retired in 2016, and as we all know, it has been a long time since Valve has released a Half-Life game. And yes, it seems that Valve only cares about money and hardware currently, but Laidlaw has had the time to write concepts and story pieces over the last 9 years. And as we've seen, Falisak and Wampa can definitely put the pieces back together if they need to, just like Mark did. Valve probably never intended to, and HTC just knows that the Valve community of fans very much is waiting for a software or a game to be able to be released and using that against us. This picture shows that a folder needs to be made to keep files associated with imported source. There, right there. The picture itself shows a list of Redford's favorite folders within Windows 7, one being a folder for Left 4 Dead 3 weeks. Valve might be testing Left 4 Dead 3 over Steam for community and networking purposes while masking the game as Left 4 Dead 2. The supposed SteamDB listing for Left 4 Dead 3 also has been updated frequently as well, just not as much as the Left 4 Dead 2 beta. Funny enough, only a couple of hours after this image had essentially gone viral within the Valve communities, an edited version of that same picture was posted in the place of the previous leak. And also, just to point out, the name of the original picture file is directory_fun. So Valve is being secretive about software, and odds are they will release it with very little fanfic, quickly being poorly doctored out. And then the year ended, with more hope than how it began, as in the beginning of the year, Valve's longest employed writer, Mark Laidlaw, announced his retirement from the company, leading many to predict the downfall of the Half-Life franchise. Well, I have many predictions for 2017, but those will just have to wait for another video. During the International, well, just watch for yourself. Oh, okay, yeah, huge news. Mark Laidlaw, lead writer on pretty much everything Half-Life related since his hire back in '97, has done just the absolutely unthinkable. Posted only a few hours ago on August 25th at 2:05 a.m., his time was a write-up on his personal blog called Epistle 3. There's a Half-Life team. Really? I find that immensely hard to believe, unless you're referring to the VR game team, which may not even exist at this point. So, let's recap the last 2 years. The Lab, Destinations, Steam VR Home, Artifact, Bridge Constructor Portal, and now Gordon Freeman in Final Fantasy 15. Okay, how much longer are the hardcore Valve fans going to need to wait to get any semblance of good news? I recently made the realization that when I started this channel back in 2011, it was after Portal 2 released, and ever since then, I have been reporting on every single leak, rumor, tease that has ever happened, and we are still no closer than we were back then. There are a lot of different secret projects in development, more than just games. There's a lot of evidence of Valve putting a lot of hard work into the hardware space, more so than just the Steam Link Steam controller and the Knuckles VR prototypes. So what exactly is going on here, and when exactly are we going to find out Valve's actual plan for the next 5 years? Because just like every other previous 5-year period since 2007, it's very possible that all of this effort will be thrown into this new initiative only to have it fall apart and the public never knowing about it. However, when I was searching around the internet for discussions on this debunked Facebook post, the same "Valve doesn't make games, they make money" thing got thrown around. I think that phrase needs to be updated to be completely accurate. How about Valve? We still make games. We just won't finish them.